our viewers. And so the EGX Rezzed show took place in London a couple of weeks ago. EGX Rezzed focuses predominantly on indie games. So there was a wide range of indie titles on display, as well as a few key titles as well. I had a little wander around the show to see some of the key titles that were there, obviously focusing on the racing titles in particular. But there were so many games there, some great examples as well. Absolute Rally, for example, was an interesting find. And just hear somebody going off, obviously, but that was the sequel to Absolute Drift, released a couple of years ago, which some of you may have seen. And of course we have Steel Rats here, which is a new sort of 2D biking game. I say 2D, it's like 3D pseudo action biking adventure. It's got a certain look to a sort of Trials HD adventure game. We've got an interview coming up on that one. We'll be looking at that in more detail later in the year. Riding your Harley through this sort of dystopian environment. Flashing lights. Were some flashing lights on the stand. Again here, emergency services type action. Though the way everybody was playing it on the stand, it could be forgiven for being more of a crazy taxi, frankly, as it is a bit crazy when people start going off-road with their fire engine. And we'll see how this one progresses as well. Potential for sure, but it's obviously graphically it's going to struggle against some of the bigger titles. There was this amazing display for Steel Rats as well. I have to admit, it was working as well. You could play the games on the screens. Fantastic there from the designers just to support it at the show. But I caught up with the PR and marketing manager to find out more about the game and what it could be about.
My name is Michał Azarewicz. I work for Tate Multimedia. I'm a PR and marketing manager, and we are working on Steel Rats. Steel Rats is a vehicular combat game in a 2.5D environment, and this is also a platformer game about a biker gang who's fighting an evil robots in their city. And yeah, that's basically the super short summary of the game. The gameplay, as you can see probably on my back, it's a platformer game where you have 4 different characters who explore all the levels and can fight the robots, can race them, can avoid them, and trying to figure out what is going on and why those robots are here in the city. Okay, so it's a mix. Basically, there's lots of reference for Trials HD, but we added lots of combat, we added lots of explosions and destroying robots and multi-layered levels which are going to be in the game, because the bikes allow us to design the level for speed or for combat or for exploration, and also the levels are just not on one layer, so you can have different paths, you can go up and down, left, right, so we think this is something different than like normal platformer game. And in the end you have the same freedom and physics as in trial games, and you can do stunts, but beside that you have explosions, which are cool. So Steel Rats is coming to PC, PS4 and Xbox One at the end of the year.
So lots of explosions and bikes and robots and explosions. And talking big robots, so we see a bit of Gunstar Heroes in action running on the Sega Classics collection. Lots of classic games. You should all be playing these later this year. If you haven't played them already, there you go. Sonic the Hedgehog, Gunstar Heroes, 2 of the best games ever made. Awesome. Extinction. Look at that. Big giants. Goodness me. Look at that. Colossus, shall we say. It's pretty darn impressive. And it's great to see the graphics improving on these indie titles as well. Such a wide range from different studios. You can see a cool shoot 'em up here running on the Nintendo Switch. I love a good 2D scrolling shoot 'em up. And we see it here as well, docked. Which is great to see the genre getting a bit more love. It's a genre that was huge in years gone by. It was the genre when I was growing up, and it's great to see it getting a bit more love now. Descenders, the mountain biking experience there. Released on PC earlier this year, it's coming to Xbox One. I believe it looks like it was running at 60 frames per second, which is good, because we always like a bit of frame rate, and we'll have to wait and see what it's like. But people who've played it certainly seem to enjoy it on the PC, so it's one definitely we should look at testing on the Xbox when it gets released. And so various titles were on display here, various quality, and we'll look at some of these later in the year when we get the opportunity, no doubt. Onrush, of course, there it is, rushing into the Onrush was there as well. New build, lots of improvements made, quite radically different visually. It really had improved quite a bit from the earlier builds. A lot more to it, a lot more being put into the game, and it's one which we'll really need to see the final game, before we can really recognise where it's going in that sense. That new modes were being announced, and some of these new modes could be game changers in terms of the look and feel and what a single player has to do as well. It's not just about multiplayer. A lot of people playing at home. Hyper Sentinel was there. We might look at that later. I don't know. We'll see. EGX Rezzed, of course, we had Grip there as well. Grip is a game we've been covering for the past couple of years. The homage to Roll Cage, and certainly one I've enjoyed a great deal. This is one we're going to cover later this year because I like it, and I love a bit of old school retro gaming made modern in that way and remastered. Let's see what the producer had to say.
My name is Kevin Levers. I'm senior producer at Wire Productions, and I'm going to show you Grip. Grip is a combat racing game. It's been in early access with Steam for the last couple of years, and now we are releasing it in 2018 for PC and console. The game is combat racer, much in the same vein of Roll Cage, which came out on the PlayStation 1 era back in the 90s. And the main aim of the game is to race and to combat your opponents. So in the game, obviously, you'll have online multiplayer where you'll be able to play with up to 10 people on the same track, as well as split-screen local multiplayer. There'll be a single-player campaign which will be able to take you through all the different tracks, all the different cars and weapons, and actually get you to explore and try out different elements of the game. Career mode will allow you to start with a very basic car, some easy tracks, and we'll lock off some of the weaponry to keep some easy stuff and basic things to do. As you progress, you'll unlock new weapons and new tracks and new areas that you can try and generally help you get better at the game. If you go straight into multiplayer, however, everything will be unlocked straight from the start, so you never have to keep unlocking stuff to play in multiplayer. So in multiplayer we have we have the standard racing, which you can have a classic race, ultimate race, or time trial. And then with the combat arena mode, you also have a team deathmatch, which will be available at launch, as well as standard deathmatch. The couple of things I'm excited about the game, the gameplay itself, as you've probably seen in the background behind me, is that you can actually flip the car, you can go in any direction, you can ride walls, you can ride ceilings, and it keeps it fast, kinetic, and keeps you really going fast. Also, my favourite weapon is the Assassin, which is kind of like the blue shell in Mario Kart, which targets first place, so if you're at the back of the pack, you've always got a chance to get back forward. Grip will be released on PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One and Switch this year.
So Grip is looking really good. Obviously some footage there of me playing earlier this year. Absolutely love it. P.O. there it is. Had its name changed to Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine in the 90s, but they've gone back to the original name again. And there is Sonic the Hedgehog as well. Lots of new content coming for Sonic. I did enjoy the Classics collection, and of course a bit more Sega Classics again. That was from earlier again, but why not? Because I liked it. It was awesome. Let's learn a bit more about Everspace coming to the PS4 in the coming months.
Hi, I'm Michael Schade, CEO of Rockfish Games, and we're working on Everspace. Well, Everspace is a single-player roguelike space shooter, so we throw you into the action right away, and you don't know what's going on, you don't know who you are, but you find out during the course of your journey. So you travel from sector to sector where you fight different enemies, you will have to collect resources, craft new items on the fly, repair your ship, and use all those different weapons depending on which enemies are up on you. And since this is a roguelike, if you die, you have to start from the very beginning. But you don't lose everything in Everspace, so you keep your credits, you keep your blueprints, and with that you can permanently upgrade your ship. So with every death, with every attempt, you're going to be better, understand the mechanics of the game, and the further you go, the better and the more impressive enemies and the environment will be. Combined with that, we have a storyline that takes about 10 to 20 hours to complete, so you will unfold the story, the mystery behind your existing. So I can share that you are a clone pirate and you want to find out who put you into the pilot seat and what this is all about, and eventually you will find the villain at the end, and then you have to defeat him. I think what put Everspace apart from other space game shooters and space game simulation games is like the fast-paced combat. It's really like the action is immediate, and you will always have to take like all the weapons that are at your disposal. The sessions are really short. So because of these short sessions that we have in Everspace, you can play it for just a couple minutes. We really want to make sure that you are on the edge of your seat. So the action is intense. You can put down the game if you want to, and it's saved automatically, but you can pick up it anywhere else and then continue play for hours if you want to. It's currently out on PC and Xbox One, and it's going to come to the PlayStation 4 in May 22. And when it launches on PlayStation 4, the DLC and counters will be available as well.
So Everspace looking fantastic there on all formats. Really nice look and feel to it. And here we see some more retro platforming action. I really like the look of some of these retro games that are really capturing the platform era of the 90s. The fun, straightforward gaming where you didn't need to read an instruction or listen to a tutorial for an hour beforehand. Just dive in, explore and learn as you go. Really nice to see. Suicide Squad, incredible, was at E3 last year. I actually have some footage I haven't made public, but I absolutely loved it. Back again. There it was. This game looks absolutely brilliant. Wonderful detail in the graphics. Really nice on the PC at 60 frames. Mother Gunship, very impressive as well. Again, really nice graphics, really nice colours and visuals and effects. Really like this. And it did look like a lot of fun for everybody that was playing there. Again, just really impressed with the graphics now that indie studios have access to with the Unreal 4. Let's learn about another game, another site.
I'm Andrea Basilio, I'm the creative director of Lunar Great Wall Studios. We're presenting Another Site. Another Site is a game that tells the story of a girl that getting lost in a strange underworld under London. We took an inspiration from Neil Gaiman, from the book Neverwhere, and we start with the idea of this amazing place under London. Kit, the name of the girl, she basically had an accident at the beginning of the game, and she became blind. So she basically starting to see the sound using a kind of echolocation. And she also meets a mysterious cat in the underworld that help her to find the mystery of the underworld. Another Site is a kind of adventure game with puzzles and some. Another Site is an adventure game with puzzles and some platforming. The key part of the game is exit from the puzzles and the situations with the collaboration of the two characters, the cat and the girl. For us, in Another Site, three aspects are really important: art style, emotions, and heritage. We try to create a unique art style in the way of Kit see the world. We don't want to make the normal kind of echolocalization with black and white or sonar view. I want to create something more artistic. So we try to create something new, and the result is amazing. Heritage is also important. We want to put real people in the game, so after they play, our players can explore more about a real person that they know in the game, like Monet, the famous painter, Tesla or Verne. And the final aspect is about the emotions. We want to create a game that is full, that give to the players a lot of emotions and empathy with the characters. But also we want to create a proper narrative, a proper story that the player can understand and can enjoy this amazing world that we created. Another Site is going to be available in 2018 for PC, Xbox, PS4 and Switch.
So another site there from the ex-developer of MotoGP. Some of you may recognise Andrea from those titles. And so a final look at some of the various indie titles that are on display. I think I was just constantly impressed by the scale, the imagination, the detail of these various developments now. They really are getting better and better. And the funding behind them is surprising, but also the new tools that are enabling developers to just simply get more out of development with smaller resources, including this one here, where you went through the game as various, essentially, animals, essentially, and it was very interesting to see. Again, lots of detail using the entire environment and unique ideas as well. No idea what adventure these people were on, but I think we have. I saw somebody running around as a wolf, and somebody as a. Is that a bear or a hog or something? I don't even know what that is there, but it's an animal of some kind. Train Sim World is back. There it is. Train Sim World Founders Edition. It's going to include everything that's been in it so far. And of course a bit more. That Sentinel I came back to because I thought, hey, Sentinel, it's a shoot 'em up. There it is. Very nice. Bit of a shoot 'em up. Though they've gone for the old school sort of 80s basic visuals. But that's it for me for now on this report of Rezzed 2018. And there'll be more from us on the channel very soon.